So anyhow, this is the third video of the Oxford competition. Then let's give Scotland a very welcome here to this world here, to this game here. So let's go to arson and put up our shields, put up our dukes, and 10 homes, 10 burn baby burn, disco inferno, disco inferno. Ha 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 ha. And we go to missile. Fire one, pew! Boom! Fire one, pew! Boom! 28 to land. And we fire a fusion missile. Pew! Boom! 28 to land. Pew! Pew! Boom! 20 planets. 20 planets. He's gonna win though. He's gonna win here with the soldier with the. No. I might have enough super Doom Troopers to just eke out a victory here. Mashallah, God willing, we have enough. We have enough attack. Oh, it didn't work. He has like 4,000 tanks. That's why. So I bombed both of his lands, and look what he's saying here. I don't know you, but you suck. This is my first round of Sklone. Haven't played Star Kingdom SK in 10 years. Star Kingdom in 10 years. What was fun about the game was the camaraderie. You don't turn on your own sector. If you want the game to die a slow death and don't want new returning members, keep doing what you're doing. There's a George McFly laugh. Greatest team killer. I'll get back to the game, Scotland. That's always my favorite term. That's always my favorite term. That's I'm the greatest team killer. The whole decade. So this is what 2010. Oh, that's a long time ago. I remember the world was in 2010. I left for 2010 and lived 2012 to China. I lived in China for a while. And team killed, and then I came back in 2012, and then just rebuilt my life. When that has 8 years, just rebuilt my life. And I had more hair back then, though. I had more hair. I was already balding, but I had more hair. Oh, this was just a little bloop bloop bloop. So I'm gonna start posting these videos and start posting them to fuck Motron over down here, Scotland, and to explain why I'm the greatest team killer in my videos. And oh, this is wonderful. I attacked Scotland. Like I said, he returned in his original message, a welcome back message or something down here. He go down to sector. I'm the greatest team killer. I attacked Scotland, and he's been back since 10. Since 10 years. No, not since. Since he left. Welcome back. Ciao Hogan. Da 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 da. Ciao Hogan. Da da. I'm Wiki Woo and I'm Ciao Hogan too. Talking about guns back here. Talking about the. I'm assuming you guys are trying to steal guns. Or talking about doomsday weapons and how to go Mad Max when America goes crazy with Mad Max and that kind of thing. So Mad Max. China is probably China isn't even reporting cases anymore. Yeah, I don't want a mad panic, but there's probably like thousands of millions of my own countrymen dead. Well, living in China, what can I say? They drive on the sidewalks. Their boys poop in the streets. Actually, they do have that. They have the you know how you have those old long johns, those old cowboy Western long johns where you have the little flap, where you have the little hatch and the two little buttons, and you attach them to your bum, and so you can take a shit. You don't have to pull the whole thing down when you take a shit in the outhouse or something, or on the ground, or shit your pants. I bet that must have been one hell of a cowboy prank. You know, your cowboy buddy's drunk as fuck, instead of drawing crazy shit on his face. Just take off his pants, and there'll be like his long johns there, and just go whoop, and draw a little crazy shit on his bum. No, yeah. So in China, the kids have the split pants, so they go like that. They squat their legs in a squatting mode, and then the pants go like that, whoop, opened up like that, and then you see some little chubby prince, like we're talking retarded Derek from Disenchantment, great retard. You know those Chinese boys always go like a little fucking Ferengi. They go and this is just their whiny sounds. You know anyways. So anyway, these little princelings, they take a huge jump on the C train, they take a huge, or not the C train, they take a huge jump on the metro, they take a huge jump in the you know how you have this in China, you have this huge courtyard in front of some imperial palace or some shit, or some imperial residence or some temple, and you have this huge courthouse, like this huge I don't know how to explain it, a huge square, and there's like no buildings around. It's just one huge cement block. That's how they did in ancient China as well. And you got all them old dudes doing Tai Chi on it and stuff, and doing their Kung Fu Panda katas and stuff like that. That's what they were for, actually. Or you can do it for a huge procession area too. You say, you know how they have those Kim Jong Un parades, and they have this huge square. That's something like that, especially in front of Tiananmen, where something didn't happen, but we know it all happened. Especially if you're from a different Mandela affected world, and it's a squishy Indian rundle for a tank kind of one. So anyway, you see all these little poop piles, and they're not from homeless people. Some are, however. And god damn it, don't get me started on the poop holes. I mean, you heard of holes, but you didn't heard of holes. So I kept on holding it in, crapping in the office, crapping in my own apartment. In Hong Kong, there's no problem because this is more westernized, and you can just relax and just sit there and relax and take a nice relaxing shit. And there you have to actually hold it, especially if you're drunk, right, man? If you're drunk and your legs are all wobbly, it's gonna be one hell of a trick. But it can still be done though. Because when you're drunk and you want to take a shit or a puke, then there's more then you're more focused. focus in that I'm driving home along the freeway, or I'm sloshed kind of focused. When you're like a little 17-year-old little shit, or 21-year-old little shit driving home from the bar or the nightclub, and you're focused because you don't want to get caught, and then you get caught. Don't drive home and drunk, people. Anyhow, yeah. So there are some good things about China too. Ancient literacy, ancient inventions, gunpowder, and ancient Chinese temples and whatnot, and all these other tourist traps that the Mao's didn't blow up or rebuilt in the '60s. See, the thing is, they blew a lot of shit up in the '60s and '70s that were about religion, right? Because of the misuse of religion. Same reason, power corrupts. So humans can totally fuck up a perfectly good system. So what happened was, yeah, Mao Zedong, Maoist Red Guards just smashed all shit up from China, but then they also rebuilt it. Because they figured, gee, Whitey's gonna come into our country and give us a lot of tourist dollars, and a lot of backpackers want to come in. A lot of ESL teachers want to come in. They want to be in temple land. So let's rebuild the temples. And then they said they rebuilt the temples, and lo and behold, the people's moods improved. So, um, who knows what these monasteries are doing? Catholic, Buddhist, whatever. Just what these kids are doing in those temple towers, those towers. Researching all sorts of ways to kill the Balrog. If you know what that's a reference to, and what that's a reference to, then I love you. Anyways, it's now the first week of coronavirus. I'm just catching up with some reading because the school told us to fuck off and don't come back into the school for a very long time. So we're doing everything online. The Oxford, my kingdom's name is called Oxfordcompetition. It's referring to the map the system 2020, and I've pretty much started the preliminary research and start typing down the preliminary research. We're gonna try and do it little by little throughout the week because I gotta work on my main project still. Because the RCIA class I've been taking takes up a lot of time. Takes up a lot of time during the week, during the weekends, Sundays, or 3 hours on Wednesday nights, especially during the Lent or during the Lent purification season. It's gonna be really interesting. Speaking of that, the Pope is gonna do a live broadcast of the papal blessings on Easter, because of the fact that Italy is under total lockdown, and so. But I went to go and pick up the bottles again today over at I went to go and pick up the mail. The snow shoveling. Gas is down to 73 cents. So if you can, get yourself some jerry cans and just get some really cheap ass gas and store it in your garage. Get really big jerry cans. It'll be fucking worth it. Get some jerry cans, and when the gas prices go up, you can just fill up. It might cost a bit because you're getting one of those, and it's gonna be fucking heavy as fuck. Those jerry cans are heavy, especially the metal ones. So, but yeah, I mean, gas is gonna go down to 73 now, from roughly. I think the highest I ever got up to was $1 $12 per liter. Then you times that by 2.5 liters per gallon, or 3 liters per gallon. Some number, and it's like $3 per liter, per gallon back then. Back in the height of the oil boom, maybe when I was working there, roughly 8 years ago. But no, it's actually gone up. It's actually gone down. But this year we have a craziness. We have the oil prices has gone down to at least under $20. So that kind of questions the viability of fuel as a profitable, petroleum as a profitable business. Maybe you want to switch to hydrogen now. The good thing about not to sound evil against the demise of my people, but the good thing is that there's less. I lived in Wuhan, and Wuhan is a place where you can build little intricate metal parts, especially plumbing parts. They're the plumbing part capital of China, I guess. Piping, metal works, and so therefore because of traditionally northern China is full of metal works and stuff since ancient times, building them Chinese wacky swords and wacky swords and stuff. It's traditionally northern China, the whole Manchurian, those Manchurian areas, the farming implements. Fuck, man, I've seen farming vehicles from the 20s. There's some kind of weird contraption where it uses some kind of weird alcohol based steam, some kind of weird alcohol based energy. So and yeah, it's making some some old Chinese dude going chugga chugga choo choo. It's going, and then when the machine stops, it makes a huge old fashioned train sigh going, you know that crazy sound that hangar door space hangar door opening sound. And the vehicle is like going chug 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 every just inching along the highway. All of us are like all of us are in cars or in vans or whatever, going zoom zoom zoom. That was pretty funny. But yeah, Wuhan was actually pretty very smoky when I was living there. It was also because they burn garbage there too. A lot of times you have little clusters of buildings called, like the old parish system in England. You have like maybe a cluster of buildings here, a cluster of buildings there, a cluster of buildings here, clusters of building there. But you can't really, so therefore it's impractical to have one plumbing to get to go in all sorts of weird directions, two Wi-Fi, so they have to use satellite Wi-Fi if you ever got Wi-Fi. Electricity is really hard to wiggle around. So they have one big pole. It goes to the pole and then it spreads off into like a spider web into different little IT and electrical wiring, which got really fucked up during the winter during the storms during storm time, rainy season. So they had to really waterproof that shit up in China. So so therefore you have little pits of fire all over these hills and stuff. So actually at nighttime it actually looked quite frightening. It actually looked like you're in Mordor, or it make it look like you're in hell, or Gehenna, which translates to fire pit. And this is reference to the old fire pit, rubbish pits of the Bronze Age where you can burn shit. And that's the thing with ancient China too. It's modern, but it's also very Bronze Agey. Because of the deserts, because of the vast wildernesses that make it very practical to get infrastructure out. So all the infrastructure, all the high tech shit, all the cities and shit are all stuck on the coast in eastern China. But it's really hard to fan out. So a lot of times these people still live in caves or even ancient sand kind of buildings like in Star Wars. And it's like that the world over. Sometimes you have in Afghanistan, you got Pakistan, you have. See, in India, you have all the little cities all close together because of the fertile valleys, all like that. Or in Egypt, you got all those buildings in the Nile. It's like the old South. It's like the old South, the southern provinces of America. They're very isolated. They're very hard to get things into. You have to actually build you actually have to build the power plant there in that town, or the waterworks in that town, or the IT in that town, and that's really expensive. Actually, this is a problem that the Canadian government's having with trying to upgrade the indigenous communities. Is that a lot of times these communities were deliberately put in really ghetto-sized places, and now when Canada actually has to deal with their sins, the sins of our parents fucking up with the natives, then we actually have to build these. Really plan these things over. This is why it's really hard to get things over. We can have all the money you want, but if the infrastructure is not there, the infrastructure is not there. So that's why the tribal governments, the tribal leaderships, and the FN nations, leaderships and whatnot, are trying hard to actually get the funding needed to build these resources in their communities. But it's hard to get to, again, like I said. Like for example, Eastern Ontario, where Thunder Bay is. I just did a report on this actually about indigenous abuse. And Thunder Bay, there's this huge block of land run by the NAN. I don't know what the N stands for, or the A stands for, but the last N stands for nation. So it's an indigenous confederacy of many different communities and tribes and whatnot, all banding together, and they all send their kids to Thunder Bay, which was ill prepared to handle such an influx of people. But they're trying to get funding from the government to try and improve things, but it'll take time, and it's also uh, the government is running out of patience, but the government cannot run out of patience because they made a promise to the world stage that we will fulfill the obligations of UNDRIP, and for many years, the subsequent governments, they've kept on putting it off, but now you can't put it off anymore. There's too many indigenous people getting murdered. There's too many indigenous people not being treated as human beings. So it's like that in China too. So this whole coronavirus is a good thing actually, because yes, people are dying, but we're slowed down. We're slowed down, so this is gonna try and suck out as much CO2. The fire is gonna try and suck up as much CO2 as possible while things are down. And this may seem macabrely gruesome. But I hope that the coronavirus lasts a bit longer because we need the plan to catch up. We need the economies of this country to catch up. We can't. We need to invent better. We need to catch our breath and invent bigger and better systems that are more resilient to market crashes here in Canada, especially here in Alberta, especially because you can't make it. You can't make it. You can't build an economy on. You can't build an economy on a dying energy system, on a dying product. No one wants oil anymore. Everyone's switching to. I mean, California switched to hydrogen basically, and the hydrogen is growing. Israel said fuck off to the oil company. That's the thing about Israel too. Everyone's trying to invest money into this weird oil company there that's using ancient biblical references to find fuel, to find deposits of fuel, ancient vague ancient vague biblical passages, instead of using actual hardcore science such as test drilling, GPS seismic stuff, and all that weird jazz. And Israel is very, very smart, and they're going to be investing in hydrogen very soon, so they can say to the rest of their Abrahamic cousins, their Ishmaelian cousins, fuck off. We have our own system now, and um, maybe they can be banned with Jordan and Egypt. Um, that'd be neat. The two Ramses, the two Moseses. Moses. The term Moses means king in Egypt. I think it was. I think so. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see some peace in the Middle East, some stability, and they can actually, the people, the children of Abraham, can actually get along now, and then you put their enormous talents and brains that Yahweh and Allah has invested into them, into creating even more solutions this planet needs. Other than that, just me studying. I got some assignments coming up, and I've got, like I said, an Oxford paper coming up. So this is me talking about the coronavirus, African leadership, coronavirus, yada yada yada, corona guns, Arnie Schwarzenegger. Did you say Schwarzenegger? Arnie gun? I said the word. Alien Zeppelin gun. What the hell is that kind of gun? Looks I kind of like these old Tommy gun designs. In Russia, they had an old World War II gun that they had the magazine was like this weird air filter, old car air filter looking thing, which was cumbersome as fuck. Which was pretty cumbersome. You just was instead of going instead of getting sucked up, going boom, boom. The phone's calling me, so hold on a second. Hello? Hello? Casey here. Who's this? Monthly donor card. Oh, monthly donor call. Yeah. I did. Pretty good. Pretty good. Uh, yeah, it's me. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm broke. Mm. And besides, I like donating. I like donating whenever I manage to save a swag of money, and then I usually donate that. If I don't have any other prior financial obligations that I can, then I have free money, then I usually donate sometimes. So, oh, I'm broke. I'm broke. Wait till I catch up. I'm working on catching up though. I'm working on catching up with my payments, and then I'll give. Oh no, I'm good. You too. Thank you. Bye bye. So, like I said, that was the Canadian Cancer Giggity Gaggooity Goo people. Um, Canadian Cancer Society. They have they put me down for a monthly donor, and then at the time I had the money, but then one of my friends, he needed assistance to help pay off some bills that he racked up when he was having a episode. I can't go too much detail because I have to obey the laws of Omerta, and the seal of, you know, you can't, when you, but a priest isn't allowed to babble on about stuff that, you know, stuff. There's the oath of confession, that kind of thing. So I can't really tell you exactly in too much detail of what happened, but I loaned someone some money so he can pay off some of his bills and get some fresh air. Plus, I wanted to the thing is, when you start paying off regularly, then it shows the world, that shows the man that you have a good concentration, good ability to have financial management. So the way I see it is a win-win. I build up my credit rating to some stellar credit rating. I can get a car or house at super cheap, subprime mortgages and whatnot, and and stuff like that. Da do 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 do. So therefore, I'm paying off my bills. You know, being a good little citizen, that kind of thing. And like I said, I hopefully will be able to get some good auto loans and stuff. 'Cause I need to get a car. Cause I'm social. When you're a social worker, you actually have to meet. I'm not gonna be one that goes to their house. And they're gonna be pretty intimidated to come to the office. Besides, the office is very hard to get to. A social worker office is so hard to get to. So you want to try and meet them someplace. Meet them where they're at. So a library, perhaps. Rent out a. In fact, that could be personally, that could be perfectly cool. Rent out a library. The Calgary Public Library has a lot of rooms. I've done this a lot with some classmates. Help not tutor them, but help them with their assignments for free. Uh, and then they totally ignored me and fucked off. So they probably, they in fact, they kind of blocked me. You know, as soon as they graduated, they didn't need me anymore. So they just blocked me and said, "This thing, oh, I don't need the Chinese dude anymore. I'm just gonna block him." So yeah, That'll teach me a lesson. That'll be a lesson not to be so helpful in the future. Lessons learned. I'm pretty young still, and definitely take these messages to my grave. When I reincarnate, I'll be a more stingy person. No one likes stingy people. I'm one of those drinkers that actually shares the booze. I BYOBB for everybody. BYOBBEB, everybody. Everybody. So, anyways, here I am back to our little commentary of color commentary of the game here. Although I'm the greatest team killer, I've attacked Sklone. He's been back 10 years ago. Welcome back. Coronavirus and all the other jazz. So CrackleBit wrote down at Chow Hogan, you're Oxford. The 10 arsons and grieving messages after I gave you slap makes sense now. You actually built some decent troops. Why don't you just join in the war instead of hitting your own chaps? Because he's quite mentally handicapped. Have you not seen his YouTube videos? Lol. No, and then no. So 90% of the British military. No, but we do seem to have a knack for TKing like North America does. He's mentally handicapped. Yeah, damn speds. Oh? Ooh. Oh, yikes. Were you Scotland? I've been infiltrated by probes. Who wants to probe my bum? Drilling sound. But yeah, when I was living up in China, it's pretty rough. It's still a developing nation. I mean, if it wasn't so corrupt, it'd be actually a pretty rad place to live. But as humans go, it's one of the better nations. I lived in some really ratty places in Canada, for example. In Canada, so it depends on where you live, what kind of slum you live in. If it's been gentrified, if it's been upgraded and it looks livable, then that's good. That's what many people are doing now. They're buying all the dilapidated houses in the crappy neighborhoods and gentrifying it, either knocking it down, putting up a new building completely, or just renovating the old building completely. If a lot of them are very unrenovatable, however, because the architecture is too old. And it's quite a shame too, because you want to keep some of the architecture, some of the character alive. So at least bring one of these houses to Heritage Park. Create a little parkland in the back, saying, "This is what Heritage Park looked like, or what the 1950s looked like." In fact, I lived in the house in Canada, and you know how nowadays they have houses where they take away that they don't even have a kitchen anymore, because it used to be like a kitchen. A kitchen used to be partitioned off into its own separate room, and you have a little dining area, and you have the kitchen, and you have everything there. But you have this wall kind of thing to separate the living room from the kitchen, and then like a little wall kind of structure, and you have a little archway into the living room into the main hall. That's what they used to do in the 50s, but now they gank the wall because people like to watch TV or sport, especially sports, especially hockey here in Canada. Wow. They don't want to be listening to the hockey game while cooking supper and going, he shoots, he scores, and they miss it, right? So then they miss it. But nowadays you can actually bring your tablet, you can actually bring yourself your little camera phone too. Anyways, let's just develop this film. Develop this by pushing pause and saving it, and then we're gonna post these 3 videos up there. And then we're gonna start posting. What should we post? The latest toilet paper rolling video. I'll be trying to get some. I'll be trying to get some once the semester's done and fucking done all over with. I'm gonna try and put some Fuller House videos on there. Uh, some funny Fuller House clips on there as well. Found some pretty good Archie clips, and I found some pretty good funny clips on some other show. I can't remember which show. And I wrote it down. What did I write down? Ah, it's a good clip. Let me see. Here, I wrote it down. I have little scraps of paper all over my desk here about the little clips I've been wanting to watch, wanting to record this year. Oh, like especially Archie, especially the Riverdale clips. Those are pretty funny too. So we'll see how kind of clips get online and holy shnikes. Oh, thank you for watching our show. Have yourself a great evening. Thank you for watching our show. Have yourself a great afternoon. Thank you. Oh, a new kind of thing I want to do is also start what is it? Canadian population clock is at Canadian population clock is at 1,274 people, which is strange though, because this is still the afternoon, early afternoon, and that should be around 500. I mean, it took that long, and not only that, but none of it still seems to be holding steady at 38 or 39. Oh, we lost a person moving to Nova Scotia. You know, food arrow went food like that, food like that. But this used to go. This sometimes this occasionally goes down to 73 or worse yet 72. Uh, but it seems like we made some positive gains. I seem to have gone up to 78, so this is pretty good. 81. So hopefully none of it can hold steady. And it's been like that for many times. I've looked at many weeks. Many weeks. So this report oh, see this red dot comes up. See, like I said, remember I was babbling earlier about hard to reach places up north and stuff, and especially here. I say population is very low in Manitoba and Saskatchewan because it's hard to get things out there. People want to come to here in Alberta because of the mountains, and Edmonton because of work, and because it's actually pretty nice up there in Edmonton. You know, it's got a good economy, it's got a good city. I enjoyed life up there. A lot of times they're all the war brides from World War II, from England especially. They seem to want to come to Edmonton a lot, work I suppose. Um, Here it's really hard. It's really expensive to live here, and also the cod industry sort of kibosh. So Quebec is pretty high populated. It's got wonderful resources. It's got wonderful industries in this area, especially this whole New Yorky area. New England, New York area. It's very high. It's Ontario, Western and Eastern Ontario. It's like this is pretty much this is pretty much what Canada used to look like. This here and this here. These two here. And Manitoba, yeah, but we don't have fur trapping anymore. So someone got born in the middle of it. No, I was wrong. Quebec. Saskatchewan is pretty much flat farming, so it's more. Hey, actually, it should be reversed. It should be Saskatchewan. Should be more populated. See, someone got born here again. Um, so yeah, let's see how high this really gets up. Ooh, someone's moving from Alberta to Ontario, and someone in Ontario just died. They have more resources and more wealth there too, so they can have a higher population, decrease infant mortality, increase life expectancy, yada 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 yada. Hospitals, yada 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 yada. Research labs, And we tried to build a super research lab, but we failed. And at least we got the cancer hospital in place, so that's good. It's not being called the Tom Baker Center anymore. It's going to be upgraded to something else. Should someone else have a turn at So let's see. By if this keeps up, this will be 69. Uh, it'd be 3,900,080 something. Should be there 80 or 9. Just gonna turn on 9, and then this goes up to 8, and 220,000 more people need to show up, and then this will go to 38 million. Canada, 38 million. I don't know what that's gonna look like. But I've never seen it this high before, though. This is interesting. Anyways, thank you for watching our show. Have yourselves a lovely evening.